50 Plus Beauty, and I'm so glad you're here with me today for my 6-month report on my Retin-A use. I am so excited about this. I kind of never thought this day would come. I have been using the 0.005% Retin-A since about January 23rd. I know this because I started using Retin-A just after the first of the new year with what I'd had left in my cabinet, which was the 0.25. And then my husband and I went to a conference in Puerto Vallarta on the 23rd of January, and I bought this little tube. It was about $25, but this is how much is left after 6 months. And I had it curled like that. So I really don't have that much left. And I'm going to go to the 0.1 strength pretty soon here, and I'll just be adding 1 night a week. And I will tell you, it wasn't that easy. I'll show you before and after pictures of my 6 months use of Retin-A in just a few moments. But to let you know a little bit of the history, when I started on this, I started very, very gradually. In my 40s, for about 3 years, I had used Retin-A and I did not use it correctly. I overused it. I used too much. I used it every single night from the very get-go. And I was a peely, snaky, horrible looking mess, and I gave it up. And I said, you know, I'd rather have wrinkles than walk around looking like this peely, crappy mess all the time. This time I did it much more slowly. When I started at 1 night a week of this strength. And then I did that for 1 month. And then the second month, I did 2 nights a week. And then I started adding an additional night every week or so because my skin was starting to tolerate it. I would say probably around the 4-month point, I got to using this every single night. Now, when I first started using the Retin-A, I was not even on YouTube yet, and so I did not take before pictures. So it wasn't until probably early June that I took my first set of before pictures, at which point I had been on the Retin-A for 5 months, and then in the last few days I took my second set of pictures, which was a 6-month point. And it is very interesting because the first pictures you're going to see, in fact I'll show them to you right now. There are my before and after pictures, but again, this is at 5 months of using Retin-A on the left side, and then at 6 months of using the Retin-A. And I think what's happened is that I probably started having changes in results maybe around the 5-month point. Because as you can see on the 5-month side, my hooded eye is starting to improve here recently in the July pictures and the 6-month pictures. In fact, it's really rather amazing. I'm developing an eyelid on that side, which is crazy amazing. And even on the non-hooded side, what I would have considered the non-hooded side, it seems like I'm starting to show more lid on that side, which is wonderful. And then in the 5 months pictures, you can see I've got some little mouth pouches. We get those little kind of angry mouth pouches as we get older. And it looks like they're fading somewhat in the more recent pictures. And I will say I am rather pleased at how my lips have improved. However, that is probably not the Retin-A. I'm doing the derma roller every other night. I think the derma roller use every other night is really what's improving my lips. And I have a video down below of that if you'd like to see it. In fact, if you're not a subscriber, I hope you'll go ahead and subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. And if you click the little bell, you'll get notification of my future videos, so you'll be apprised of all my before and after guinea pig type experiments. Some of them work out very well, like the Retin-A, and some of them don't. In fact, you'll be seeing one of them that didn't work out here pretty quickly. Now, let's go to the pictures of the eyes more close up so you can see the hood actually. And as you can see in the before pictures, on the side with the hooded eye, I don't have as much lid and it is really baggy and pouchy. And on both eyes, actually, you can see towards the nose, towards the inner part of the eye, there are 2 big pouches there. And they seem to be getting smaller in the 2 pictures, and hopefully over time, I'll start to lose those little bags that are right here on the inner corners of the eye. Those are really irritating and aggravating. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the right side of my face. The changes here are quite subtle. You can see in the 5 months use of Retin-A versus the 6 months, in terms of the sags by the mouth, they look like they're starting to improve in the 6-month picture versus the 5. The cheek just looks a lot more kind of flabby and lax in the 5-month picture. And in the 6-month picture, it looks like the skin is really firming up, which is a wonderful thing. And I have had problems with kind of bagginess in my face. And so I really like it that the skin appears to be getting smoother and firmer. However, they do say the majority of changes with Retin-A really start about the 9-month point. So, you know, who knows, but it does look like I'm having some positive changes. Okay, let's take a look at the picture of the right side. You can see that hooded lid, which you can tell in the before picture in the 5 months. There is not as much eyelid there, but a month later in the 6 months, you're really starting to see the improvement of the lid, and I'm actually getting more of a lid in the after picture. And you can also see the bag at the corner of the mouth. I will say that what looks like a large wrinkle on the top near the mouth is actually a dimple. so you really can't count that, but you can look at that lower back to see that that part of the cheek seems to be becoming firmer. And really, when you look at the before and the after picture on the cheeks on that too, it almost looks like things are getting a little more firm. You'll have to make your own decision on that because it is hard to tell, and I did use the same lighting and roughly the same position, but it is very hard to get your face exactly the same each time. Well, I have to say that it was very, very difficult starting Retin-A, but at this point I had no idea that my hooded eyes would start to improve because I really thought an eye job was in my future, and it looks like if I continue to use the Retin-A that maybe I can avoid that, at least put it off for quite some time. I'm really excited about the changes there in terms of my eyes, and I do feel like my skin is getting a little bit firmer, and I have just noticed a little more youthful look to my skin, probably in part that's due to a lot of the peeling. Retin-A actually thickens the dermis, which is the deeper layer of the skin, while it exfoliates the top of your skin by sloughing off those cells. For the most part, I don't have too much trouble anymore with the peeling and shedding and the redness and the irritation. However, every now and then, for some reason, I don't know why, I will go back through that. In fact, I just went through a knee surgery and I probably missed a couple of days of applying the Retin-A, and so all of the peeling started again because my skin said, hey, we haven't had Retin-A, now you're adding it. What's the deal here? So my skin was starting to freak out, so that wasn't too much fun to go through, but I guess it's a small price to pay. Who knew that the Retin-A would actually have an effect on my hooded eyes? For those of you who aren't on Retin-A, you do need to go to your doctor and get a prescription. Really, your primary care physician can usually give you a prescription for that. There's a website called goodrx.com, and you can see how much Retin-A would cost in your area at various pharmacies, and it really does vary. In some cases, there'll be a coupon on there. You can send a friend to Mexico, or if you're in Mexico, pick it up there if you trust that. Some people don't. There are also some websites where you can find Retin-A a lot more inexpensively. If you're not a subscriber, I hope you'll subscribe and click the little bell to get notification of my future videos. That way you won't miss anything. Now, I always like to leave you with a thought for the day, and to do that lately, I've been going to this little card deck called The Language of Letting Go. I really like that. So I take all the cards, and I'm just going to shuffle them up. We're going to see what we could maybe concentrate on today. Give us a good little area for improvement, whatever that would be. Okay, I'm going to choose, I feel like, this card. Okay. Ooh, taking risks. I have not had that one before, taking risks with a little horse on it. Today I will ask God to help me begin to take healthy risks. That's a good one, healthy risks. I will ask for assistance in letting go of my fear of failure and of success. I will ask for help in fully living my life so that I can start experiencing all the wonderful parts of my journey. This is such a good card for us, ladies. It is our second half. We are well into our journey, and we do need to really make sure that we are on this journey, we are on this road, we are loving it every minute and every day that we can. So if there's any way to take a few more healthy risks, to get out there, to put ourselves out there a bit more, to have a more enjoyable life, let's do it, because in that way we have a wonderful second half. Take care and see you next time.